We are off on another adventure today. We're just about to hit the Gosford-Narara railway dams. We're here on Reeve Street, just off Wiseman's Ferry Road, which is all the way up there. And apparently somewhere in there is the upper and lower Gosford/Narara railway dam, which used to service the steam trains back in the day. A couple of little things we need to find before them. Fountain Creek is the first, and there should be a waterfall upstream a little bit, and then some Aboriginal carvings. So if our directions are right, we talk about a service trail that heads down to Fountain Creek after about 700 metres. So if we don't reach a creek after 700 metres, we know we're on the wrong one. This is what this service trail looks like. Rather muddy in parts. This was the walk that we were going to do 4 weeks ago when it was raining with torrential weather, and we ended up doing singos. Are you going to be right through here? Let me just try these rocks myself. You think someone's placed these on purpose? I think they have. They're all pretty stable. Got good balance there, considering you were drinking all night. The icon is not a drinker. She's a bit like me. She loves her milk and she loves her juice. Was that chocolate milk? Chocolate milk. So hopefully we're going to stumble upon Fountain Creek in a second. Once again, we can hear the freeway in the distance. Can you hear that? I can hear running water.
Yes.
Man, if it's still this muddy today, I can only imagine what it would have been like a month ago. Where do we go? Left or right? It did say there's 2 creeks, didn't it? I think come straight down there if you want, Bill. Yeah, something's wrong with this battery. I'm going to have to throw this battery away. I charged it last night and it's gone already. No good. We have reached a creek. So upstream. Where would you consider upstream? There's meant to be a waterfall here upstream. Are we talking upstream there? So you've got a creek coming from here as well. Water flow from down here. I got no idea. Do you want to wait here a little bit? I'll just head up here a bit, see if I can see anything. What does the direction say? Upstream there's a waterfall. Sounds like there's some sort of waterfall in there. I'll head up here and see what I can find. Did you get them dirty?
Oh, good.
Very good. There seems to be some sort of track off to the right here, because we can hear some sort of waterfall off to our right. Did you see any pictures of the waterfall?
No.
No? It's coming from this direction, and there is a well-worn path through here. Could this be what we're looking for? Spiky bush, be careful. Oh yeah, this is it. Very nice, very pretty, very small. So I gather we shall name this Fountain Creek Waterfall. Very pretty. So this was the first thing we needed to find. After this, we've got to try to find some sort of overhang or a cave with some Aboriginal markings. It's pretty, huh? Very nice. You think that's the track we should have come along? You think that takes us back onto the track that we were coming down? We can try that. We'll head back up there. I reckon someone's just made that track. All that was mentioned was that there's a waterfall upstream. If you weren't with me, I would have just come straight up the creek. So either way, people have been trying to find this, and they've come in from our side where we came in. And then I think they've made a track on this side to head back to the service trail that we were heading down. Very pretty. That sun is just high enough now where you can see the light on the ferns everywhere. Look how beautiful all those ferns look everywhere. How's the water temperature? Not too bad actually, it's warm. How was Mossy? Mossy 2 weeks ago. -1 degree. Just on top of Fountain Creek Waterfall. Very misty. Belle's taken a few pictures. From this direction over here, all we can hear is the freeway. I wish it was a little bit more secluded where all we could hear is birds chirping. But unfortunately, we've got the cars in the distance. Just have a read on your phone, Belle. What's the next lot of things we come to? So once we cross Fountain Creek and go into the bush, what does it say? Some Aboriginal shit, yeah?
Green
2 Narara Dam Aboriginal sites.
Rock engraving.
Rock engravings and what else? Huh?
Cave
Cave art. So we've got some rock engravings and cave art. All right, I'll hop down here without killing myself. And then, do you want to try that track there? Yeah, we'll try that track, see, service trail. If not, we'll head back the other way we came. So if you're thinking about doing the Narara Dam loop here, once you get to Fountain Creek, you can come up a service trail, cut through the bush, and take a few snaps up here at the waterfall. And then on the opposite side, it will take you back to the trail we came down, so you don't have to retrace your steps. There's Bell in the distance there. So now that I've been here once, what you can do there's the service trail straight up there. You can come straight down through here. It might be waterlogged at some point. Otherwise you'd come around down through here. Instead of going down and upstream, you could head up through here. I should have done that to begin with, honestly, because I can hear it from here. This is where we could hear that sound. So either way, it's easy to find. And then once you finish that, come back down here to Fountain Creek. That could be an unnamed creek. They did speak about this here being Fountain Creek, and it looks like it comes from there and it comes into this pool here. So where we were up the top here, that might not be Fountain Creek, but we'll call it Fountain Creek Waterfall anyway. Sounds a little bit better than unnamed waterfall. Nice little area. A little bit too dirty for swimming. So let's go see if we can find these Aboriginal artifacts. You ready, Icon? Let's go. Get off maps. Right now. Stop getting on maps. We do, but we don't even do that until we get to the Aboriginal sites first. So we find these 2 Aboriginal sites, and then once we knock those off, apparently there's a steep, remember the steep crop all the way down to the first dam? So we've got to find the cave art before anything else. This is a nice wide open service trail with the sun glistening through now. We have come to a junction here. We're not quite sure which way to go to find these artifacts. I'm thinking we continue on the same trail that we're on, which is over to the left here. Considering this walk today is only 4.4 kilometre round loop, we can make mistakes and come back. So we'll head along here, and if this...
8:30 through the trail, so I think...
Yeah, I think that... No, it doesn't say to take any other tracks off to the right now. Whatever that number was for, I gather that's for the fire brigades and stuff like that. Now we'll just continue on the trail that we've walked on, but it doesn't say to look out for anything. I hope they're obvious. It doesn't say to go into the bush or anything like that. Pretty sure in those notes that we've got. Yeah, but in those directions, I'm pretty sure it says this track comes to an end and then we have to head down the hill. So I would say that the Aboriginal engravings are at the end of this track, because it doesn't mention anything about going into the bush. It was a chilly start to this morning, I'll give you that tip. 4 degrees up here. Where did we start from? Where's that RSPCA show? This Somersby? Somersby, okay. So we started virtually across the road from the RSPCA Animal Shelter at Somersby. Probably a walk today that not a lot of people would know about or do. I was just searching, as I normally do on Google Maps, and something came up about a dam. I just typed that into Google, and then someone had done a write-up on it. I think it was on Oil Trails, where they give you a map and whatever else. So their map I never use because you have to log into your Google account and whatever else. So I just bring the map up myself and I gauge it on my own. You're falling behind, Icon. Oh, you're taking pictures of the sun through the trees? Oh, she's not telling. She's very good at taking snaps. When I go through them at home, I get a lot of surprises as how good her picture taking is. So I've been walking on this trail for a long time now, and there was a track that headed off into the direction on the right hand side and then the left hand side. We decided not to take either of those and continue on the trail that we started on. It's a long way. It is set to come to an end at a ridge. Now, if we're going the wrong way, we're going to have to go all the way back up and take that trail off to the left, I'm thinking, because the dams are in that direction over there somewhere. So fingers crossed that this is where they're at. Markings? No, it's nothing there. No, so we're going to look for rock cairns once we start heading down the hill. It says look out for the red tape and the rock cairns. But there was no other information given about the rock art other than, yeah, no, look at all those rocks there. Other than this trail just comes to an end. I gather at the end of this trail is where we're going to find all these artifacts. Yeah, well they said there was a pipe running down to Gosford railway station back in the early 1900s when the upper... So do we come to the lower dam first or the upper? Lower, yeah. So the lower dam was built in 1901, so it said that there was a pipe running either from the lower or the upper dam all the way down to Gosford railway station to service the steam, or well, to feed the steam train. So I'll let you guys know at the end of this trail whether or not you need to turn off anywhere. We'll make the mistakes so you don't have to. Fingers crossed that we're going the right way. That siren's been going a long time. Something's going on. Yeah. So we're back to some sort of civilization here. We've got power lines in front of us. We could hear someone's telephone going off in the distance there. Train line. Plenty of cars. And we still don't know if we've continued on the right trail. We'll soon find out whether we have to turn around and hit one of these other access trails or this is the one. Heading straight into the sun now, which means we're heading east. We were walking southwest for a long period of time. You could probably come... Oh, I think it continues over there. Okay, so Belle's just going over here for a bit of a look-see. Right on the sun here. What's the view like? Wow. How about going onto that rock, honey? Hang on. You can come down with me?
No.
Why? Come on, come on, come on, come on.
No.
You'll get a better picture. You'll get a better picture. All right, hang on now. I'm going to grab that camera off you. Look at that. There's no mention of this. So where are all those factories there? Is that West Gosford? That must be Man's Road. We could probably see Singos from here.
That's West Gosford, where all the factories are.
Yeah.
Some place there?
I can see, yeah, in a second. Hang on, I'm filming.
Oh, that's actually going to hold the poles.
Look at the power lines going down. It's a long drop down there. How far to the edge can I go, hun?
No.
I have to take my thongs off. It is close. Let me just put you guys out a little. You hear that phone? There's Man's Road there, I think. So do you think the dams... I'm trying to think if we're on the right path. Would the dams be this close to...
As I've said before, I don't think we are.
You don't think we are? Okay. Well, it's worth...
I think we're going the backward way. Remember at the end it says a scramble up a hill? I think that's a scramble up the hill. Somehow.
Really? You think we're going the opposite way?
Going the opposite way.
Well, if that's the case, the directions were shit then, because they should have said at some point, take the second track on your left. They just said to follow the track all the way down until it comes to a ridge.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's scramble up the face.
all right. So unfortunately, we've got some bad intel here. We have reached the end of this trail, but we're nowhere near the dams, or more importantly, nowhere near the Aboriginal rock art. It should have said to take the last track on your left-hand side. That's where I think we should have turned. But there was no mention of that in the directions. In the directions, it just says at the end of the trail, you will find some Aboriginal art. We have reached the end of the trail where the power lines are. There's no mention of power lines, is there, on those directions? So we're just going to have to go back and take that track down to the left. There's three things that guy mentioned in his directions of how to get down here. He spoke about a dark and jung sign. That wasn't there, so we didn't find any dark and jung sign. He said a wide service trail. It didn't start off as a wide service trail. And then he mentioned one other thing that that we couldn't find today either. So I don't know how long ago he did this walk, but a few of those markers no longer remain. So we'll make it back up to the trail that I think we needed to turn left down, and then I'll see if I can give you guys some sort of marker of a tree or something, so you don't have to make the mistake that we did. Although we got some pretty spectacular views of West Gosford down here, but it's a long way down.
What was I saying along the way?
True, but there was no directions. You've seen the directions that I jot down. He mentions nothing about turning off.
I'm not following directions. I'm following gut.
The maps, yeah, that's true. Anyway, we know what's down here now. His directions are wrong. We've had a few people like that give out wrong directions, but it doesn't matter. It's not that far of a walk back up to that track, so we'll start filming once we get up there and see if we can find some sort of tree or a rock where it'll tell you to turn left instead of continuing straight. Okay, we're back up onto the trail here. So you do not continue heading down. As soon as you see the track heading down, don't do it. I'll just see if there's some sort of tree up here. I would say that this is the original track. Why the directions wouldn't read you turn left? Now that's definitely turning left. If we're coming down this track here, that's a continuation. It mentions nothing about turning left. And I don't know what sort of marker you've got here. Nothing really. You've got these three trees together. I think it's the first track that we've seen on the left-hand side from Reeve Street. So the first track that you pretty much come to on the left-hand side, look for the three trees here, the skinny trees. And we, again, don't even know if this is the right way. We just didn't see any other tracks coming down the fire trail. So now we're going to head down this track, hoping this comes to an end. We have seen pictures of the cave and it's pretty impressive, so once we find that cave we'll know we're heading the right way, but I don't think there's any other way to really go apart from this track here. Fingers crossed, eh? Because we won't be coming back on this trail unless we're wrong, because this is meant to be a loop track. So we're continuing along this trail and there is a lot of sand, so if we are going the right way, that'll be one marker that you can look out for. Turn left instead of heading down the rocky main trail, and then you'll be walking on white sand. We are seeing a lot of shoe prints, so a lot of people have come along this way for something. I don't know if it's the right way, but there's something at the end of this trail. I'm hoping so, yeah. Yeah, it does feel like it. But we didn't see many shoe prints on the other trail, the fire trail. But the dams are to the left of us, which is down here. We were on the opposite side of the ridge, on the other side there. But we did get some good shots of the power lines that look like a flying fox down the mountain. But here it looks like we're up nice and high. We're right up on top. Not so cold anymore. That sun has warmed us up. So it looks like the sand has finished. Oh, it's a little bit. Not as much as there was back there. As soon as we find that cave, there's the water. So you can just see Brisbane water, I think, in the distance, and Gosford. Is that the race course? It is. That's Singo's down there. Yeah. Yeah, that's where we explored 4 weeks ago when it was pissing down with rain. I don't expect to find anyone else on this track today. Look, there's a track that heads down there.
Straight, I think.
You reckon just straight? If this leads to nowhere, or if you don't find a cave at the end of this, then I'm at a loss of what to do. Looks like both tracks lead. Yeah, well. It's a nice drop. Yeah, it's very open up down there, isn't it? This reminds me of the Spion Cop walk that we did when we were looking down from that rock. Well, both those tracks merge into one, so it doesn't matter which one you took. The one just up there or this one here, just continue heading down. Yeah. What's wrong? Yeah, I can hear water as well. Maybe they are the dams. Yeah, it continues down here. It's water's coming from your end. Maybe the wind. Yeah, it could be the wind. Anyway, the track heads down here, so we'll continue going. It's got to end somewhere. Okay, we are struggling big time. So I've come to this huge rock platform here. It looks like the Aboriginal rock art is back up on the track there. He doesn't mention any direction, so it could be one of these people that don't want to give its location away. So it might have been off a side track there, but we've just read the article again and there's no directions on how to get to that cave. We actually might come down the trail again once we finish it. Now, if you reach this huge rock platform, oh, here we go. Hey, Belle, come up here. Yeah, there's a, I didn't even bother looking on here. There's a marking here, Aboriginal marking. You missed it. So here's something here. I wasn't even looking. I was more just looking for the cave. I thought the cave would be at the end of the trail. So we're at the end of the trail now. We're going to start heading down the mountain. And just see if there's anything else on this rock platform here. And then we'll make the climb down. And we've got to look for some rock cans and red tape. Again, how long ago that post was made, I have no idea whether or not those things are still going to be visible. Did you see this thing here? Come up here. I got the phone. I got the phone. I'll get you to take a picture and then I'll lead you down where I think it might be. We do know that the dams are in that direction over there. So we're going to go down what looked to me to be a trail, but I couldn't see any rock cans. So come over here on this side where I am. Is that, you reckon that's Aboriginal there? This big thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. What do you think it is? A whale? That's all I can think of it being. I'm going to double click that, see if we can get a picture of it. Maybe let's just have a look around here a little bit further, see if we can see any other things. Hard to get it. Make sure you pinch the camera in, yeah?
I think it's a whale.
Yeah, it could be a whale, yeah. Make sure you pinch the camera. When you double click it, pinch the camera in. It'll give you more more space to shoot. Okay, so we've come from up there. You reach this huge rocky platform. I gather this is what they mean the trail comes to an end. You know what I think about the Aboriginal cave? It's another one of these posts where they don't give the location away, so it doesn't get vandalised. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Alright, and then what you do from here, again, if it is the right way, just follow this rock. And straight down this crevice. So I've gone up into the bush there, there's nothing up that way. I just decided to head left here. The guy that was leading the two other people mentioned to them there's a couple of dams down here, so he led the way, so he's the experienced one. I'm just winging it. There's no clear directions for this or anything. Alright, let's head down here. And down here we're hoping to find some markers. You see there is a trail heading down here, and this is heading in the way of the dams. So I don't know if this video is going to help anyone finding their way, because this is not easy. Looking at it on the map and reading the directions, I just thought it was straightforward, but not at all. So just keep a lookout. See, this might have been a rock can here. I think it was. I think this was definitely a rock can. If you look at that, and that, and that, I think that was one there.
Could be right, yeah.
Yeah, I think there was one there. So we'll just continue following this track through the bush. So there was nothing obvious on that trail after Fountain Creek that would suggest there's an Aboriginal weathered cave anywhere. So I did see a few tracks off to the right there. We should have maybe walked along them, but red tape. Keep an eye out for red tape. So it heads in that direction down there. So we'll continue going down here. If we come across some red tape and some more rock cans, I'll let you know. What do you think? Have you got a good feeling, Belle? We're heading in the direction of the dams. Yeah, it might be further. He did take a picture of those too, so. We're just looking for these rocks that we need to squeeze in between. We thought they might be these things here, but the track continues past them. Yeah, no, it's definitely not there. Just look out for markers, yeah, so all these black boys. This is one of the more trickier explores I've ever been on. Still nothing, I'm just heading into the bush now. Can you see any red tape? No. Well, let's just go down a bit further As long as we've got a track here, we can make our way back out again. So we're not seeing any clear signs of rock hands. We've come across things like this. But I don't know if that was stacked up high. We do have this weathered overhang here a little bit. Can you see that on their pictures? I don't even think we've been between those rocks yet. Man, this is not easy. We're going into rainforest now. Just one red mark would be nice, like a red ribbon. I don't know if it's along those rocks or down here. We're winging it big time. If we're wrong, we're going to have to head straight back up there again. So here's another rock teepee, which is only 2 rocks though. I've seen them a lot bigger than this. Is this telling us we're heading the right way? Maybe this is where they mention they go in between the big rocks, Bill. I can hear water. Yeah. We're on the creek. We're right on the creek here, but I didn't see one bit of red tape.
If I face that way?
Yeah. Damn. Well,
Face that way, not
okay,
down.
I can see the creek down there.
Down there, through
Yeah.
there?
But did you see one red tape?
No.
We've managed to make it down here without seeing any markers. Whatever way they came down, I don't know if it's the way we went down. So we have reached a creek. Is it Fountain Creek? Ooh. You okay? Yeah. Yes, sweet. Is this it? Is this the number 2 dam?
Yeah, this is right. Okay, hang on.
Be careful, it's very slippery here.
There we are there, and there's the dam. So yeah, we're at it.
Okay, so we're at number 2 dam.
Yeah, that's-
What does it say?
I've seen that pic.
You've seen that pic? What does it say on there? Like when was it built and that?
Hold on.
Very slippery. Just stay on this side of the creek. We could have come straight down Fountain Creek and probably hit it. So built in 1901 for...
Supply water for steam trains after the railway line to Gosford opened in 1887.
So the railway line at Gosford opened in 1887. This one was built in 1901. Do we get a better look at it from somewhere? There is a track on this side that will probably take. It might take. So what does it say now from here? Where would you consider upstream is? So the walking track's here. Oh, here we go. There's two tracks here. Is that upstream there? Or is that upstream there? I would suggest it's there. Yeah, grab a couple of pictures. How in God's name did they dam this from here? Doesn't it say down the bottom of that intel there on how it was formed by the damming of some creek? Hang on, I'll open my phone and have a look. Pretty sure. Okay, it says here, walking track follows Fountain Creek upstream towards the second or upper Narara Gosford Dam. So we've got to go up. So we've got to go there. There is a track heading up that way. So we'll do that. It says that, be careful, it's really slippery there. The second dam was built in 1925 using an arch type wall. Okay, so we'll get to the wall of the second one. As the water source feeding the first dam was unreliable, particularly in drought. From the second dam, the walking track continues a bit further along the dam. This track avoids private property with a new estate built. The trail climbs up steeply to the ridge with some rock scrambling required. The climb is steep but short, soon meeting reefs. We can soon back up on the main road. So we've done the hard walk. The hard walk is down to the dam. Once you reach here, it's meant to be quite easy getting back up again.
Get back up there. So
No, we've got to go up that way.
up that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me grab you. And then what we're going to do, we're going to walk down this other trail. Okay? Yep. I'm thinking we do this, Bill. Let's go down here, see if we can get a different view of this dam first, and then we'll head up there. So that would be upstream, you think? Yeah. Okay. Let's head down this track and see if we get a different view of the dam. See, there is a track here. Someone's mowed here. Someone's brought a whippersnipper down.
Yeah, because they have to maintain the dam.
You think so? This is a well-worn track here. So here's where the dam feeds, through here. Let me walk down here a little bit. It's dirty. Can you cross there? You might not be able to. Hang on. Let me just see if it's worth doing. Man, someone's come through with a lawnmower. Very slippery. You would not even know this is a dam without that ride up. The other one having a wall. And we've got a sign up there. So you can get to this some other way. danger. What does it say? Crown land. Danger, Crown land. And you've got a different perspective of the dam from this end. A nice cave here. A real nice cave. I might actually go get Belle, see if I can get her safely across, and we'll do a little bit of picture taking and filming from here. You can see a car or a house up there. We're up here where it says Crown Land. This is a high risk area. No entry, no swimming, no diving. Walkway slippery when wet. Edge, take care after dark. And this one here, it looks like people swim in these dams. West Gosford. Access on or near dam wall is hazardous. Slippery, poisonous animals, uneven surfaces, swimming not advised, and falling. So is the dam wall up here or the other way? See if I can make it my way down the Bell this way. If I jump down here, it might not be so easy to get down to where she is. It's a bit of a drop. There's some noise from there suggesting there is some sort of dam wall. Can you hear that? Too much of a drop. I have to go the same way I came just to be safe. Let's head back down that gully on the other side of this rock. You would think there would be, see there's something here, an old sign, engravings on this rock. There's something up there. Right, let's head back down here and we'll get back down the Bell. This was used for swimming long after it wasn't used for the steam trains, but now these days it classifies it as hazardous. Do you want me to light it up?
Look.
Huh?
Look.
What? Engravings?
It's a real one.
Oh my goodness. So you reckon this is it?
Yeah, this is it. This is the track down to this. I think we've gone a different way. Look at that.
No, we've come down.
I don't know what this is. This is
We've come down the right way.
Can you shine on the phone? Oh, actually, better off. That's
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What's the date? 2006, 11th of the 8th, 2006. Got a couple of crosses
I love that
there.
snake.
Oh no, I don't think that's old. That's no way that's old. And the post that we were going off, there's nothing that shows of that snake. That's new.
Yeah.
That's new.
No,
That's
you're correct.
that's not old.
Look at the it's just so beautiful. It's just, look at that sandstone. That just is beautiful colour. Oh, nice. That sandstone is like.
So this is the only one. 2006. There's another one there that says Lee. There was something here, look. Bit of graffiti there. Not graffiti, rock carving that has since faded away. From here it'll make a nice shot, Bill. Back this way. That sun might be in your way though. There's more graffiti there. Is the sun hampering or not? I'll double light it up. You ready?
Yeah, now. Yeah,
Got it?
yeah.
Can we get down closer to find out what this noise is down here? There's another cave here. I think we'll go around that other way. We'll have a look. Actually, let's get a few pics from here and then we'll head down the other way.
Do you think you're going along there?
Just down here, just to see what this noise is all about. So come down here and then we'll head up to the final one and then we're home. There is a track here, see, because people swim down here, so there must be some sort of wall. Look at that weed. It's like a bloody string. You would think I would break it. I was coming through with a bit of force then. Oh, here's the wall.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, that wall is slippery. Here we go. Okay, so this is not an arch wall.
No, the other one.
The other one's got the arch wall. Yeah, look, there's a big pipe down there, see it? Come down to where I am. Come down this way where it's dry.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
Don't have to maintain this, don't I?
Yeah. And there's got a couple of things.
Look down
I know,
there.
look at that cave.
Holy golly.
How do you get down there?
Oh my goodness. That. Imagine everything going down there and like.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's caves all along there.
Oh, that's magic wall.
I don't know if you could get down there. There's a big, massive drop here as well. This is what I faced up at. Look at that drop down there. Fuck, that's a massive drop.
What I was just saying to you. Have you looked down there?
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, right into that, down into there, look.
Into the abyss.
Yes.
And then the other cave's there. You'd have to attack it from the other way. Like if you're coming along there and try to enter it down somehow there. So this is Gosford-Narara Railway Dam numero 2. Correct?
Lower dam.
Lower dam. Okay.
Lower Narara.
Lower dam we'll call number 2. And the upper dam, which has the arch wall, we'll call number 1. Yeah, that looks very slippery, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, don't go on there.
Let me just try a little bit from here. Yeah, it's got all those like little shavings on there.
Not worth it.
That's
Just crazy down there.
I know, straight down there. Look at that.
I wonder if that actually comes out.
Fountain Creek. Well, we've got the maps will start to
Why
slide.
do they call it Fountain Plaza at Warwell?
Maybe. So So these were the pipes that led down to Gosford railway station, I gather. So that's part of the pipe that probably led down to Gosford railway station. Remember?
Well, yeah.
That's what it said.
Correct. See
Yeah.
what's going down?
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
perhaps it kept going and it joined.
it would have kept on going, yeah. I'll bet you.
There's a bit of steel.
Yeah,
See
there
that
is.
steel?
There's still there,
Yeah.
and there's another one.
Where?
Is that something?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, hanging
I
out.
probably ran across that.
Yeah, possibly around the top there. Yeah, because it's such a huge.
And if you look on the rock, there's steel pipes coming
Yeah,
up
there's
on
a
the
pipe
rock.
up there as well.
Yeah. Unless they use them.
Lucky we came down here because I was going to head straight up that track. So, all right, let's get a few pics from here. Look at the beautiful reflection off the water
I
here.
know, it's blue.
Yeah, no, hang on. So Belle's just yelled out at me. She saw this sign up here that's facing towards the dam, and she's followed a little track down, and she's got a better view of the dam wall and the cave that's underneath it. I might be able to actually get down into the water there below the dam. I don't know how slippery it is. It looks very slippery. Yeah, that's really slippery. See this footholes? Foothold there, but it's too wet. There's footholes leading down, Bill. But if I get down, I don't know if I'll get back up again.
Right.
You don't think I should try?
No.
Freaking slippery. And there's footholes on that side there.
No, don't.
That side would be more, you know, to me. I'm going to give it a crack. It's too beautiful not to take the risk. I gather in summer when it's not so slippery, you could get down anywhere on this rock, but I've hugged the side here. You've got a couple of footholes. From here, I've got plenty of concrete where I can get grip. And it is very slippery, so if anyone's thinking about doing this, always think that you're going to slip. Mega slippery. All right, let's go see what this drop's all about. Jesus Christ. There's a couple of, looks like railway lines. That's one of the biggest drops I've ever seen. Got a whole bunch of wires down there as well. In the corner. It's still even slippery here. See, there's something here as well. Now that is pretty spectacular. It's like it's from another world. Bill, grab a pick from there. Yeah, do one more. You got me? Oh, get away from it. Actually, I'm going to take a few pictures from you. Why, Belzy? So there's the pipe, I think, that would have led all the way down to Gosford railway station. And here's the drop. Look at that under there. Prehistoric. Look at the one coming out from the rock over there. There was something there back in the day. Alright, let's head up here without slipping. And I would not recommend anyone do what I do. So don't go doing it. Might be a good backdrop actually to show you what I've got on hat and glasses wise. Let me get down here where it's not so slippery. So the hat today is my idea of help from above is a sniper on the roof. And on the back there we got sniper. The shades today are the rose gold or mauve RB 3025 replicas. Used to buy these off eBay a few years back. They don't seem to be on eBay anymore, or if they are, they're not as cheap as they once were. And the footwear, of course, there's only one when you're coming into the bush. The Boomerang Saltwater Dream Times 1 and 2. Alright Bells, I'm coming. You head back up to the top again and I'll see you up there. Now comes the tricky part, heading back up there without slipping. So I've taken all the video and pictures we need from the lower dam here. And we're now going to head upstream to the Gosford-Narara upper dam. Just be careful coming through here, yeah? Very slippery. So apparently this one has got some sort of arch wall. Lucky we actually saw those signs up the top which mentioned a wall, because I may have only come to here and not even bothered to go see a wall over there. Those people that did that explore, they didn't mention that wall. I don't think they went anywhere near that. We always go that extra mile. Yeah, so I don't know how many pictures. No, it didn't. It didn't say anything about that wall. It said something from that. So let me get in the water. I'll get you on this one rock that's here and we'll get you across again. Just hang on a sec. Lucky one of us has got thongs on. Alright, so which leg are you going to boost yourself on?
Left.
Yeah. Alright.
And right.
You got it?
Yep.
Alright, hold on. So if you're thinking about crossing this creek here, there is one little exposed rock, but someone will have to go into the water and hold the other person's hand. You can jump it, but be mindful, we are in our 50s. So I think if you're young, fit, you'll have no problem jumping that. I'm rather impressed that we managed to get down here without any rock hands or red ribbon. Maybe others, national parks or whoever looks after these dam sites, maybe they've come down that way because they've seen the sites that lead you down, and maybe they've removed everything. And notice how all those rock cans were dismantled. They were all pushed over. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. I always harp back to that story back when we did Fitzroy Falls in 2016, and there was this video online showing how to get to the bottom of Fitzroy Falls from this old abandoned track which was closed in 1989 due to a massive rock collapse. And to get down, you had this ladder which was just hanging on by a few bolts. And these guys went down and filmed this ladder. They actually abseiled and used the ladder a little bit, but abseiled down past the ladder. And I went down about a month or two later because that video was only uploaded like in February. I went down in March, and would you believe the ladder was removed? So National Parks had been tipped off that someone had made it to the bottom of Fitzroy Falls, a track that many people used to do in the 1980s, but from memory I think in 1989 there was a massive rock collapse and a lot of that track sort of like fell in on itself, and it's been abandoned ever since. There's some great pictures of old bench seats and picnic tables on the way down which are just lost in time. And this is the way out apparently. Once we get to this other dam, from here we pass it, and then there's a bit of a short scramble back up to Reeve Street. You make it across right? Yeah, it's not too far away. Just up from the lower dam you've got this small bush track, well worn, and it doesn't take long at all before you come across the upper dam. Probably about 5 minutes walk from the other one. So this is what they consider an arch. Was the other one straight across? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. It's a much bigger arch.
Yeah, this one you can walk across too,
Yeah.
I think. This one's a much wider one. Are you going to come across? You've got another little ledge here, so you can't even fall. As long as you stay on this side. There is moss, but wow, look at that. You got to come over, hun. Just come over a little bit. That's all right. You got to just stick to the right. You got another ledge on the other side here. This is where it gets slippery. That's what the other dam looked like. See how they've tried to cut steps into the rock down there? I'm going to head down there later, see if I can walk down those steps. Alright, let's do a 360-degree pan around. So if you don't want to do the walk that we did, we are now going to exit, and apparently it's not meant to be very long back up to Reeve Street. We'll show you exactly how to enter that comes straight down to the dams. So you don't need to do that huge walk that we did. But there is a waterfall on there, and we didn't come across the cave, which had a bit of Aboriginal markings inside, so we may leave that for another time. We may do it the opposite way around next time. I'll just grab that camera off you and take a few pictures right in the middle there. One little bit of last footage from here. I'm going to try to get down as close as I can on the bottom of this dam wall. It's not so slippery here. Someone has cut some steps into the rock here, and there's a bit of graffiti, although faded. Very dark, mouldy. There was some on the other side too, a little bit more colourful one. There's this massive pipe that would have led down to the other one. Bit of metal in the water there. Gosford-Narara Railway Dam Upper. Look at this shit coming out. I wonder if they inspect this wall. Huh? Might collapse one day. Look how slippery it is there. There is no way knowing if I went across the wall and tried to come down this side. You'd have to go all the way down that way. A little bit too deep here to cross over as well. Look how dirty it is, the rust from the pipe. Okay, that's it from down here at the upper dam. I wonder what was on that pole, probably a sign not to climb the wall. I'll just show you this track on how to get out of here, or how to get down here a lot quicker than what we did. If you want a short, steep, rocky track to come down, if I can get up here. Step upon step upon step. So you've come from this direction, which is the lower dam. Here's another one of these signs which I didn't even see, notifying you not to get onto the dam wall. And here's your track. So it does say up from the dam you'll find a track that leads you back out to Reeve Street. And I'll point out exactly where that is once we get up there. This has been very enjoyable. I told you, here's the other sign right here. I bet you this was on the other side there. I noticed a pole on the other side, Belle, and it was missing a sign. I bet you that's from there. Did you see any other pole there? Unless they've ripped the pole out and thrown it into the water. Yeah, we'll show you exactly. So it looks like straight up there, yeah? You want to read those directions because it does.
No.
Yeah, but look, there's another track that heads here. It says to head up a rocky outcrop. You want to read those instructions?
It does. It's along here, but for how long?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, you give us that. You should take a picture of the sign. Yeah. Yeah, see what it says. We can't get lost from here because Reeve Street is just exactly where the sun is. So it's either further along this track, huh? And then head up? Steeply. Okay, let's try that then. All right. Doesn't matter which track I suppose we take up. We're either going to come across the new estate or this is going to take us up to Reeve Street. Just remember, this track that was designed to miss the estate, the estate might be on the lower dam anyway. You think this is it? Again, no ribbons, no markings, no nothing. Come on, Belle. I'm just showing the people how steep it is. You reckon that chopper's for us? I bet you someone has complained that we're on the dam wall. There it is, look. It's hovering. Yeah. Right above us, unless he's going over the ocean. One or the other. He's right above us. I don't think there's any rule about coming down to the dams, but swimming and... See, here's where you can get confused. Although it's pretty self-explanatory. Was there pictures of them showing their way back up again? That's right. That's what, sorry? How do you know? Oh, it would make a great marker, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it would. Mate, we'll probably make our own track anyway. Well, there's no other way that way. Where do you want to go? All right, you go up there. I'll probably meet up with you. What, have you got? Up past the ferns? Yeah. Serious? I think I'll just go up the rock here, dear. Save myself from the ferns. Oh, there's houses there. Be careful. Oh, there's a fence. We've got a fence line. So this is what it said, for us not to intrude onto the new estate. So we're walking along the fence. Ah, there you go. A fence. Yeah, Belle was right. She came up the right way. I always like to make my own tracks.
Actually?
Yeah.
We're not far from the Sarah's house.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah. Well, he doesn't own it anymore, but we're nearly here. So this puts us, I think, right at the bottom of Reeve Street. So none of this would have been here back when the kids were frolicking in the 60s, 70s and 80s, maybe even the 90s. Too much sun. Too much sun, Belzy. I just saw an address up here. So this will give you a great starting point if you want to come straight down to the dams. So I noticed 51 in the distance. So directly across the road, oh actually hang on, hold the phone. 251. Directly across the road from 251 is the fence, and you go along the side of this fence. That's how you go down to the dams. Parking might be a problem though. I don't know where you would park down here. So when we were trying to find this place today, we got down as far as, I think it was, what was the road down there? Dawson? Yeah, Dawson Street. We got as far as the crossroad of Reeves and Dawson, and we turned around. So 251. Directly across the road of 251, you can head straight down the posts and it'll take you to the dam. Problem being, maybe there you can park your car, but we've parked our car a fair way up. So this is what they talk about. The site that I read this on said you've got a nice walk up the roadway back to where you've parked the vehicle. You could park the car there, right outside their property. So easy enough. That's what we should have parked. But we would have had to walk up first and then made it easy for ourselves. But we had no idea where we were going. So, all right, that's it, fellas and gals. That was very enjoyable. A lot of thinking on this one. I thought it was going to be straightforward. We didn't find the cave towards just after Fountain Creek. Must have been off one of those side tracks. I thought it was actually on the track. So then again, he may have kept it as a mystery. So until I see you, or we see you, the icon on myself, on the next adventure or explore. Adios.